Do you like monsters?
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
Do you like monsters and Dungeons and Dragons?
Then do we have a show for you.
Kill Every Monster is a bi-weekly DM deep dive into every monster in the manual. The first part is a discussion about creature mechanics and lore, and the second half is a one-shot AP where the guest takes on the role of the monster.
Each episode of Kill Every Monster is a contained story, so you never have to worry about being caught up or listening out of order. Pick any monster you like and jump right in.
For our giant insects episode, Jesse DeHaan graced their critters with motivation and direction while retaining their alien nature.
I think immediately I would have gone ethereal. Phased out and wandered in that barrier between here and there to avoid being spotted or squished or preyed upon in any way. So I'm using my ethereal jaunt. I would like to get up on the bottom of something so that I can look down. So is there like a in and out tray on this desk?
To find out more about the show and where you can listen, head on over to killeverymonster.com.
And we'll see you next time
for Kill Every Monster. Hey people, my name is Aram, my pronouns are he, him, and welcome back to Godsfall. This season we are premiering each episode with a special video-enhanced version of the podcast. You can join cast and crew for a live weekly watch party Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Godsfall. Don't want to wait for more? We've got you covered. You can listen to the next episode right now by heading over to patreon.com/Godsfall.
My name is Michael. My pronouns are he, him. I play Xion Praeten, the newly arisen god of force.
My name is Doug, and my pronouns are he and him, and I play Dorro Knott, the newly arisen god of travel.
My name is Joe. My pronouns are he, him, and I play Lord Haldir Loran, the newly arisen god of war.
My name is Kelly. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Rina Falaval, the arisen god of luck.
You see Automil come back into his room and take a seat, and you see the eye turn to follow, or the camera turn to follow Automil as he walks into his room.
Like,
you didn't,
I didn't
do that. Correct. And you can sense someone. There's a connection, and you're starting to follow that connection back when a spike of pain shoots through your head, and fire erupts all around you. Rina, in the crow's nest, fire explodes all around you, and you're just racked with pain. There's a scream from down below as Automil collapses to his knees inside his room, and then the entire ship shudders to a halt, and this booming roar comes from Steelbeard.
So all the elves are feeling pain?
All the elves and Steelbeard.
Here's a question. Have I ever felt like... Has there ever been a threat to my tree in the past? And have I ever felt anything like that before? And then is this reminiscent of that?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
That vision you had where everything was covered in fire is that as well. Haldir, the pain fades. Fire is everywhere, but it's not burning you. So it definitely isn't real.
That's very interesting. Would Haldir have experienced anything like this either? Being an elf for so long?
You experienced the Gods' War, and many trees were killed in the Gods' War. So yeah, you have experienced this. When birth trees are in danger, they will cry out, and sometimes that danger isn't present is not present, right? It's in the future because they have connections to the weave and magic and everything, and all of the trees all of them, the entire Ironwood, all the trees on Ryland are all screaming.
So I imagine this is pretty painful for us.
Yes.
Like, is this okay? This is like
Clutching your head. You're yelling. At this point, Dorro, you're back awake.
What do I see?
You see Rina in the crow's nest next to you, grasping her ears and yelling in pain.
But she's not on fire.
No, there's no fire. It's just her in pain.
What?
yeah, just guttural scream happening. No paying attention.
Haldir, having an idea of what's happening, I guess, runs gets up and goes to the top of the deck.
Okay.
When I say run, swiftly walks. As you know,
He'll just run.
that's right.
Things will wait for him, even the death of every birth tree.
Others run from me.
By the time Haldir's on the deck, the pain is receding. The fire is still everywhere, but it's clearly a manifestation.
Okay, so I flip down. We're gonna have an elf convene, I guess.
You flip down. Haldir's coming up on deck, and as soon as you two get there, Automil is just right there next to you. You all saw it.
I assume you felt that.
We all did. And then he kind of leans down and puts a hand on Steelbeard, and there's like a shudder through the deck and a sob. It is okay. It is okay. One moment. And he runs downstairs.
Can I teleport to Haldir and Rina real quick? What's going on? What happened? What are you doing here? Where did he go? What's happening?
Rina's just standing there kind of like still nursing the headache, kind of just like looking at Haldir like, I don't really know what's going on.
So this is like a future threat. It's not that the trees are all necessarily dying right now. It's that
There's like a threat to the trees?
Yes.
The big old face of Steelbeard swings around.
Yes. I can show you.
we should get Xion and pair up here first.
True, we should get everybody.
Yes. But I can only show you. I can only show the elves.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh.
Why?
Because they are tied to the trees, Dorro.
You can tie me to a tree.
You are not from a tree. Although, the trees would happily take you.
Well, I'm going to watch anyway. And I sit down and just like, I'm expecting a movie or something. I don't.
Right. Fair. Is Xion awake at this point?
No, he wouldn't be at this point. No, he's all snuggled up next to
He's
Para
a
asleep.
pretty heavy sleeper. You both would probably just sleep right through this.
We're asleep, and unless like the room's on fire, or like Para,
Right, which it isn't.
or Para arose and said, "I am going to kill all the trees."
Whoa.
Whoa, babe, what? No, if that's not happening, then no, I'm just asleep. Like, you know.
Armia was in his room, which is down there, and he did like guttural scream. So I don't know if that would have woken up.
They're pretty heavy sleepers.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's roll my.
Roll listen with disadvantage.
Well, it's no longer listen, but
You mean perception?
Right. Roll perception with disadvantage. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been our from like 3 seasons ago.
Now I just fucking cut it out.
I knew it.
You've gotten better. I'm like, no.
No.
Audience, what you need to know is it never stops.
Yeah, it got
Never.
worse.
No. I never got better.
So while Automil is gone, he ran down deck. I want to see if I can just tap into that camera to see what he's doing in his room when he runs down.
And as soon as you do, Automil like zips into his room and zips right back out. So it's like only a second, but he zipped into his room, grabbed something from inside a bag, something silver, and then zipped back out.
Okay, so with disadvantage 14.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you stir, and then you listen, and you're like, no.
It's probably fine.
Whatever. They've got it.
Maybe someone stubbed their toe. It's,
And then you just kind of like imagine roll back to sleep, right?
Yeah, sure.
And then Automil zips back onto the deck. He's got like a little silver disc in his hand that's in the shape of a dove with its wings wrapped over.
What is that?
They have not sent me anything back.
Oh,
There are no birds coming.
so you're talking to the Ironwood.
I know that they would send something if there was trouble, but surely everyone's heard that. We are far from the Ironwood. That must have been very loud where they are.
Unless it has to do with the fact that we have divinities, all three of us.
And Steelbeard?
Steelbeard, at the same time, is technically very, very in tune.
and forged with divinity.
I believe that Steelbeard was about to explain.
And he's like, as you like turn, Steelbeard's like set up several chairs.
I'm in one. I also have some kind of like
Popcorn?
it wouldn't be popcorn. We're on a ship. It'd be some kind of like fucking salted pork treat or some shit. And I'm like,
it's kettled corn.
Really? You're going to eat salted pork in front of Oikers?
we've been over that. That's not, yeah. What about that whole festival we went through where people were roasting them openly?
Yeah, it was very upsetting for her. She's still heavily traumatized.
I offer her some. Exactly. It's a golden retriever, dude.
I taste like
not Einstein.
Right, it's true. That's true. As you all take a seat, I assume, you are like vines start to wind their way up from the deck and like around your legs and neck and head. Do you allow this to happen?
Yes, of course.
I've had this kind of thing happen with plants before.
Doesn't happen to you, Dorro, sadly. There's nothing he can do. He can't show you. He won't be able to see anything. All right. So vines go up around your head, and then like it forms a helmet. Leaves form over your eyes, and it becomes semi-transparent, and then it crackles with pink and purple energy, except for Dorro. And all of you now, and well, the two of you can now see and Automil can see this vision of the Ironwood, and it is aflame. The entire northern peninsula is on fire, and it's shocking. Even though it's happening in this vision, it's still absolutely terrible. Like you feel that dread in the pit of your soul. You know this is the death of all of you, every single one of you, all generations, all at once. Everyone would die in this. And in that moment, like it kind of pulls back, and above you is Para, wreathed in flame, his eyes burning, his skin and hair as black as coal. But it gets closer this time, and you see more of him. And it's Para, but older and a little different.
Does it look like he's being controlled by something, or does it just look like this is like different Para, but like with an objective?
It looks like different Para, but definitely with an objective. His eyes are present and angry. Like whoever this is, if it is Para, they're aware of what they're doing.
I wish there was like some way that we could like go into this vision and like be like, yo, Para, and like get him to look at us.
What? Oh, fuck, it is him.
Oh, shit, it is you.
Haldir has a few thoughts. First is this. If these trees are crying out in this like warning of pain, and Para is actually in the middle of the ocean, and also in theory the person we saw is many years older than Para is, it seems like the danger is much closer than, you know, what our Para would be able to manage. Meaning what? That some kind of future Para is back and is planning on destroying a forest. So
what has he got against the forest?
Sounds like Automil has been focusing on the wrong Para.
Completely possible. I mean, you've seen evidence that there's other selves. You went toe to toe with yourself. So, I mean, of all people, you'd be like, yeah, this is definitely possible. Which you didn't tell them, by the way. I want to underline that. You did not tell them. You told them as a whole different person, despite the fact that Caitlin knows it was you.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Caitlin will spill the beans at some point.
She will.
If we save her.
Dun, dun,
Right.
dun.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking, it's like, is Haldir playing the long game here? Does he already plan to take her out before we get her? Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how you'd go about taking Caitlin out, though, to be fair.
You just better not miss. That's all I have to say. You better fucking not miss.
All right. So I think it's time. Steelbeard, can you wake up Xion and Para?
Of course.
If we cut down to your guys' room, right? Like, there's like little teeny fingers creep up to the side.
Xion. Xion.
What did I tell you about this, Steelbeard? Privacy. This is our room, our special place. Para and I are together. Please do not do that unless there's an emergency.
Para just throws off the blanket at some point. And he's like, I will burn everything in this room.
I'm going to burn down the whole goddamn forest.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Haldir needs you.
Sorry.
Said it was urgent.
Okay, fine. Give me a minute to put on some clothes.
Do I have to go?
I think so. I'm sorry. It's an emergency. Maybe somebody's attacking us. Come on.
He rolls one bleary eye out the window and just like fires fire out the window and just like around.
Yeah, that's a great image for us elves who are going through like PTS. Like we're going through literally like a crisis, and then we just fire out of the side.
Flame jet.
You just see it. You just see a jet of fire shooting out
And
the
we're
window.
like, great,
and then
it's coming true.
So is it like 2 a.m, let's say?
Yeah, let's say it's about 2 a.m. That's perfect. Okay. So you and a very, very tired Para come shuffling up to the deck.
With like night shirts and stuff. And so
Para's got a whole ass blanket wrapped around him. Yeah.
What?
Something very important is going on right now. Right, guys? I say to the other elves.
And what do I see? Like they're all like wrapped up in leaves and vines and shit? Or are they like,
I imagine we're like standing up from it.
They've got like the equivalent of like it's like Leaf VR is what they have right now.
Right.
And also Dorro, who's like, like pretending, I guess. Pew, pew, pew. Wow, what a great vision.
Like this, like, whoa, wow, it's so lifelike. And then I'm like touching myself. Wow, it's so real.
Steelbeard, what's happening? Why have we been roused?
One moment, Xion.
And then you feel you guys all kind of like pull back into reality as he pulls these vines off you.
I was showing them what we saw.
What did you see?
Xion, we have seen a vision, a warning from every single, what do you call them? Home trees?
Ironwood
Life
trees.
Birth
Yeah.
trees?
Birth
Ironwood
trees, yeah.
Birth trees from every single birth tree. They showed us Para flying above the trees and burning the forest. And as I do this, I want to be looking at Para. Just looking directly at him as I'm talking to Xion.
His big, huge brown eyes get really wide.
And just to see the reaction.
Yeah, wide, sad, and scared, which is most of Para's reactions.
Right. Well, I instinctively like you sort of cuddled closer to Para, to protect him, basically.
I would never do that. I would never do that. I would never hurt you, and I would never hurt the trees, and I would never hurt the elves.
What are you talking about?
The person that we saw was Para, but older and different. So the visions like this occur when there is some sort of imminent threat, some sort of imminent destructive threat. It's possible that the person that burns the trees is Para from a different reality.
All right.
Can you show me?
Steelbeard?
And Steelbeard can't. Steelbeard can only show you all.
Is there any way that like we can like if I try to divinity
Bridge with him? Yeah.
Yeah, if I bridge with him, can he could I show him?
You can certainly try.
All right, Rina's close, so she'll pull her hand out and she says, I'm gonna try.
Okay. You all have bridged before, so it's not hard for just the two of you to connect. The problem is you have no way of showing him imagery.
True.
So it's not like you can just put images into his head.
Haldir could, but I don't know that.
Too bad Phryne isn't here.
Well, Haldir can.
Haldir could do it.
He has a camera, but I don't know
Right.
he has cameras, so.
Right, exactly. So it depends what Haldir wants to do, but unfortunately you are unable to show him what you saw.
I'm a good artist, though.
You could draw it. You could totally draw it. You could absolutely draw it. You know what? I would like you to roll your performance. You can put luck in that if you want to. And go ahead and roll it with advantage because you've seen this more than once. See which detail you get. I'll make a DC in my head to see if this works. But I like this idea. I like this quite a lot. Also, it gives Joe an out from like having to reveal his powers.
That's right.
Actually, make quickly draw like 5 different images and do a little flip book.
Just flames bursting off it.
So, can I add my divinity is what you're saying to it? Or, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, one is a 27 and one is a 20.
All right. So, as you're doing this drawing,
I'm so glad you spent so much time watching us in our sleep and drawing.
I know, right?
Okay.
It really helped.
Character portraits are
It really helped.
now.
In the back of my book, of my notebook, I have everything that Rina's ever drawn in her book, just in case. Yeah.
At some point where I just have to bring a Xerox. We have to Xerox that whole book and put it up on Patreon or something.
It's hilarious.
So as you're drawing, details are coming out and you're thinking more about what you saw and you're drawing and you're just going back and forth and you realize that there was a scar like running across the right eye and down to the temple, like a decent sized one, but an older one that had been there for a while, but that Para doesn't have. And as you draw that, Para's eyes go wide and his knees buckle and he just falls backwards into Xion. That's not me. That's my brother.
Your brother?
Yeah.
The one who was killed by...
Yeah.
Crabby Hands, whatever his name is.
That's him. That's definitely him.
Parrot, do you mind if I tell the others about your brother? Or
no, we have to. It's okay. It's. And he's like just takes a deep breath, and then like a vine rises up next to him with like a little cup of cocoa. Thank you, Sylvie.
I haven't told the rest of you because it didn't seem important at the time, but it's now relevant. Para's brother was the original newly arisen god of the sun. His power was sublimated in some way when he was killed by, I guess Grabby Hands. We don't know his name.
We would take the grain, and my brother ran this a lot. This was my second trip. It's a long river, and it's really hard to control these barges. But we were managing, and we were almost there. And the night before, we were attacked by Grabby Hands and some others. Chago wasn't there, but others were. And I remember we fought, and I remember seeing Grabby Hands put a sword through him. And I remember him gasping, and I remember this bright light. And when I woke up, I was in a room. I was tied up, and my brother wasn't there, and I didn't understand what had happened. And I was in that room for a couple days, and then Dorro came and got me. He freed me. He didn't know who I was, and I didn't know who he was, but Dorro was just there, and he got me out. And I've never seen my brother since. I just assumed he was dead.
We can assume that perhaps his power was transferred somehow. But in another reality, as we already know there can be, perhaps he was the god of the sun, and perhaps he has peeled his way into our reality. And if so, well, he does pose a threat to all of us. But he also poses an emotional problem for the rest of us as well, because if he is indeed Para's brother, why would he even do that? Para, what was your brother like? He wasn't that sort of person that would want to kill all the elves, was he?
He didn't like have any love for him. You know, we had some issues in town. Like, there was some complaints about the woods, but no, he would never hurt anyone. Like, he didn't want to ever hurt anyone. He was angry a lot, but not like this.
I don't know what to do or say about any of this. If all of you had this vision at the same time, how soon from that vision do you think these things will happen? Do any of you know?
The trees are very old, and they speak as old things do. It could be tomorrow, but not likely. This seems like something in the future.
I wonder if there's a way to tell if there is another god with our same divinities in our same reality. Like, seems like there should be some kind of connection there.
We have Goldenberry. Golden Barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Golden Berry, though. I do like Golden Berry.
Goldenberry.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's from Tolkien.
Goldberry.
But,
Oh, really?
Yeah. Never mind. Bleep, bleep,
Razor's edge of getting sued here, guys.
If we aren't always on the edge of getting sued, are we really playing right?
Right.
Anyway, we have Golden Barrel. Rina, could you talk to them and find out maybe if they know if this thing that was perhaps Para's brother is somewhere in the world right now?
They should be connected with most people, assuming he is on land. So I could try and ask.
Right. Of course, if he has the same powers as Para, he doesn't necessarily have to be on land at any given time, but
True.
Para would have to land eventually.
At some point. Can't sleep in the air. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Rina walks on over to the side of the deck and
unless like
Don't even need to.
Unless like Paris. What is Paris' brother's name?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Para would know. So,
he has a name because we named him.
Fuck.
Because it was
Yeah.
like
He has a
something
name.
Rivers and something.
We named the whole family because there was a whole joke about him being Rivers. And
right.
everything.
We named the whole family.
Phoenix?
Oh man.
It's there somewhere. Just his brother for now, and then we'll figure it out. His sister was named Phoenix
Yeah.
because that was the joke. Phoenix Rivers, right? So that was one of them. But what the fuck was the brother
That's
name?
Doug's episode, right?
It might be.
Yeah, it
might
is
be.
Doug's episode.
Yeah. But anyways, so Steelbeard would turn to you and his eyes just fill with star moths. The wood change around his mouth a bit and the eyes widen and like the face just shifts to Golden Barrel, but still speaking with Steelbeard's voice.
Oh, this is a new one. Okay. We've never gotten to talk to them like this.
Hello.
It is so cool to actually talk to you, first off.
We are pleased.
Golden Barrel, I have a question to ask. Is there anyone on this earth who would have the same divinity as Para and is technically related to Para? And could you feel them? And how did you feel did you feel the stuff with the Ironwood just now? How did that make you feel?
The birth trees each hold part of my soul. When they die, I die. I felt them all die. As for your para, there is another, and another, so many others. But this other, the one like him but not him, brother to him, I feel them strongly. Not in the now, but the now to be.
Do you have any way of knowing when?
Soon.
When we saw the vision and we saw like the Ironwood burning, I'm assuming we saw this from like a zoomed out point of view. Was the Spear of Jordan like still there? Like was...
Well, it's a little far away, so you couldn't quite see the spear. You could see that Ryland was also on fire. You could see that.
Okay, good to note. Like how much could we, like, because we just see like a little bit?
Basically that. You could see like the northern peninsula
Okay.
and Ryland. That's basically what you could see, yeah.
Because I was trying to see if there's anything we could give as like reference as to what time might have been. You know?
Yeah. Also a giant clock. And a calendar right next to it. How convenient.
Oh my god.
Golden Barrel, do you see the future?
I am the now to be, and the now that was, and is. Every leaf that falls, every bud that takes its place. I live and die, and born and expire, with every moment, all over the world. I am time. And it is taxing to focus on this small part.
Ah, that's interesting. So Golden Barrel is presumably all the Golden Barrels at the same time, right? If there's infinite universes, Golden Barrel is...
As Para has others, as you have others, we have others, and we can sometimes hear them.
The place where this other Para, this Para's abilities is, are we there also?
They are not in the now, or any other now, but another now to be, a place that you know rather well, Lord of Ryland.
Dum, dum, dum.
Oh no, we're dead.
Oh, well, game over.
This is super inconvenient because on one hand, right, you've got the end of the world with the chaos, and now on the other hand, you've got the end of the world with the sun god, and so it's like,
I think we're just seeing multiple ends to the
Which one
world.
do you stop first?
do we just die?
I think at this point, right, the world is just, it's going to meet its end in a certain regard.
Yep.
So we're just seeing.
Time to give up. On to the panini shop. Let's go, guys. Follow me.
At least the next few months, we're gonna have a panini shop with our gambling station.
It'll literally be the
and our-
restaurant at the end of the world. That's what you're gonna build. Yeah.
Well, apparently we face ultimate threats, multiple threats, and we know that we do. We have one advantage that they don't have. We have each other.
Yeah. And you get a little hug.
Friendship.
The fact that we are fighting together, that we join our forces and our powers, is something that none of them can say for themselves. Now, granted, they all have some power or another,
Yeah.
but they don't have all of ours. And we need to make sure that it stays that way.
Okay, but they clearly have paras, which why don't they have the rest of ours either? So if the enemy can use evil versions of us,
Evil versions
could
of most
we
of you.
then? Yeah, right. Could
What if there's a good Haldir somewhere?
In the Escape the Union game, they're just bouncing around to different realities, and they're definitely going to the evil world where it's evil, where it's like kind of evil Xion and evil Ryan and evil Rina and evil Dorro and monstrously evil Para, but their contact is going to be the god of war Haldir, who's leading the revolution to knock down the evil. So you're going to play good guy Haldir in this game, which will be awesome.
I love that.
that'll be fun, actually. I would definitely do that. So the question is, though, if we don't know that the alternate realities are
Right.
infinite, but in theory, aren't there other realities in which maybe the world is not threatened from every angle that we could recruit from
Right, like we
other
need more-
gods?
Yes, but we
We
would.
need more party people.
In order to do that, we would have to make contact with Fate and Time, who are already pretty sure hate us.
We have Golden Barrel, who can speak and travel and exists in all times and realities simultaneously,
True.
That's true.
Okay.
who we are literally talking to right now.
Hello, friend.
Oh my gosh, hey.
Glad you're our friend.
So Golden Barrel. When you see the future where Para's brother is there and you see only Haldir there, do you see our divinities and other people, or do our divinities not there?
You asked me to separate the yous from the nows and the nows to be. I don't see these separations. It is hard to find your walls and your limitations and parse back to you what I see through that vision. There are many other yous who are you but not you. There are many other Paras, even when they do not share that name. What you ask is hard, but given time, I may be able to provide you your answers.
A Steelbird's eyes, his heavy eyes close and then pop back open.
That was strange. That was very strange. Did you get what you needed?
It was very helpful, thank you.
I believe so. Thank you, Steelbeard, for volunteering your your body to your god.
I am quite tired. I believe I shall rest.
Please rest.
You can just hear all the wood kind of like settle a bit and the sails droop a little bit. And you're still proceeding forward, but you're just going a little slower right now.
No. Well, fair enough. We have much to discuss. Should we do this now? We haven't had a full rest at this point. It's like 2 a.m. or 2:15 by now.
The elves have.
Yeah.
The elves did.
The mortals
What we
not
need
so
to
much. Yeah.
decide-
Right.
Before we rest, what we need to decide is where are we going and what are we doing? Do we go for the trees or do we go for Caitlin?
There's no tree for us to go after at this point. From what I've learned from Golden Barrel, unless you had a different interpretation, was that this is something that is going to happen. And we know who it's going to be. We don't know when it's going to happen. So yes, we have that is a concern. But what do we do? Just sort of fly around above the Ironwood and wait for him to come? No.
Right.
Or what we do is we place Para at the Ironwood and allow him to stay there as a guard. In theory, he should be able to match powers with his brother.
Did I not just talk about how it's important for us all to stay together in this? And also that who's to say that some of the Ironwood elves, no offense to my friends, might believe that it is indeed Para and will just decide to all attack him at once. And Para,
No.
right.
I do not believe that the others would have the benefit of us knowing Para so well. That person that they saw, they will believe is Para.
Exactly.
And should they see him again, they will kill him.
Armiel, why don't you send a message saying that it's not Para?
I have been trying to, but it is not working.
Well, there's one other question I need to ask before we get to, what is it called? Starhaven? What is this?
Skyhaven.
Skyhaven. Before we reach
Same
Skyhaven,
shit.
Yeah. Before we reach Skyhaven, there is a question I must ask of the two of you as I look at Rina and Aramil. How exactly does this tracking sand work? Is it something that they can see at any given moment, or is it something that they have to actually physically scry to find us?
You don't have it anymore.
It is gone.
I know you don't have it, but you know who does?
No, it is gone.
It does not exist.
Whatever happened to you all in the Union erased the track we had on you.
Right, but Rina already told me that Cebu had the sand and gave
Correct.
it to Tiago Reese. My
Right.
question is, can Tiago still track us with it?
No one can track you any more. Whatever the Union did, it wiped out the aura that was placed on you. So you guys got wiped clean. So unless they put more mud on you,
No,
one
nobody
can
has
track you.
ever
Touching me
given
with
me a
mud
mud bath.
again.
Ever again.
That.
Fine, we'll never go to a spa. Every time you see a spa, you're just like,
Fucking
yeah, fuck you guys. I know what this is.
Yeah, I'll pick my own cucumbers to put on my ass.
That's right.
So, anyway, yeah. Okay, well, that's good to know. At least they don't know we're coming necessarily.
Right.
Here's the point. We cannot continue without Caitlin. We must save her. She's not only perhaps one of the strongest gods that we know, but she is also our friend. And we don't know about this Ironwood problem. That's just another big thing like the god of chaos that must be dealt with at some point.
It's also to say that if we make the choices that we make by going to Skyhaven, we might stop the Ironwood path from happening by making that choice. Every choice makes a new choice. Like, Rina's actually basically explaining her power and how she sees things, like, normally, essentially, is kind of what's happening, because she sees, like, bad luck, good luck, like, all the time. So she's basically like, some days it's good, some days it ain't good, and sometimes it's just okay.
When all this is over and we are retired to our panini shop, we should start writing like some theoretical physics.
Oh, hell
Oh,
yeah. That'd be
absolutely.
great.
Absolutely.
Can we have this might be a stupid idea. Can we have Rina infuse her luck into a coin when we make our decision based off of that? Right? Flip it. Heads, we go to the forest. Tails, we go save.
Of course you can
That's
do
so
that.
cool.
Absolutely you can do that.
That's a great idea.
And then in theory, the luck will choose for us whatever the best option is.
Fucking
Is there
love
any
that.
way, because you know how Dorro has his the pathways and stuff like that, would that help in any regard to, like, if he put that in the coin as well?
I think you guys would have to form a bridge
Oh my
and
gosh,
find
Dorro,
out.
do you want
God.
a bridge?
No. Stay away from me. No. If anyone ever is like Dorro, or they like say something about Dorro and the camera moves or something, Dorro's not there. And Dorro's back up in the crow's nest like 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I was also
Right,
going to say,
yes.
Rina, do you have a problem with me pickpocketing my spyglass back from you?
She just left because she knew you were going to want it back.
Well,
so
I figured it would be funny if you were like, where did Dorro go? I forgot to give him his... Never mind.
no, she hopefully
Yeah,
left
so
it
you
there.
hear them call out your name, Dorro, from down. I assume you would listen, right?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. What?
I'm going to need you for a sec.
And then I appear next to her. What?
How would you feel about bridging with your aspect of pathways with my luck so that we can try and see where we should go?
You want to use my power and your power to find out where we can go? Where we can go? Where we're
should
going?
go.
Where you
Where we
should
should go. Well, wouldn't that be like luck deciding it, though?
I was just saying.
Luck deciding which path to take.
Right.
Just because you have pathways.
Why don't we just pick a path? Why are we making luck decide? I just really don't understand.
Because Haldir said so.
What? I mean, isn't the inverse of this us appearing somewhere awful?
No, because it would just be me using it.
What if your luck goes terrible and then I roll poorly and then we end up in the poor, terrible place? Like,
the question posed is if there is something in the future that could happen and everything that you're going to do is either going to bring that future about sooner, right? It's either going to cause that future to happen or cause that future to change.
Right.
Since you have no idea what those actions are that you could take, what's been suggested is if we use the powers of luck and use the powers of path to divine where you should go, that maybe that's a better choice than making the choice yourself. Because if you figure if there's this thing that's going to happen and it's been happening because of actions you have taken.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Butterfly effect. I totally get all that. But it's just that the decision, so we lean into this power to make this decision of what we should do is luck. This is the thing we're tapping into, which has two faces, very good and very bad. So like, yes, everything goes great. And it tells us we should do this because we got lucky.
Right.
But how do you know it's bad luck when it's like, no, jump into this volcano and you're like, oh, well, it was good luck. How can you tell? You can't. So there is no, it could say anything. It could say, go 4 feet to the right. And you wouldn't know if that's good luck or bad luck. It doesn't make any sense.
But you would know that it's a different choice than you would make on your, or maybe not different, but like the way to get to that choice was different than you just making it. Everything you've done seems to be pulling these things into reality. Like your actions are making these things
whatever,
happen.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but.
Wait, is that also, hold on. How do Rina's powers work?
How do Rina's powers work?
But when Rina rolls, when she adds her luck to her rolls, it's not, she doesn't take points away, right? She'll only add. So in theory, she does have her power is not good luck or bad luck, random chance. Her power is good luck.
Her power is luck.
I thought it was both.
So she can choose. She can decide because she can impart bad luck on others.
Yes.
Or good luck on
true.
others.
She can do that. Absolutely. So she does have some control.
She can have.
Yeah.
So what she can do is impart good luck on the flip on the coin.
The problem with it is we're bridging. This isn't us saying I'm using my power to X, Y, Z.
I agree.
You're saying I'm bridging, and then we're like, please don't kill us, Aram.
The funniest thing is that every single time they've used the bridge and escaped the Union, it's gone.
I know.
I don't even think they know it can go badly.
I mean, it's 50-50 for us. Like most of the time, it goes terribly wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
I think Haldir agrees with Dorro in this, in the dangers of a bridge and being teleported someplace strange. Like maybe we just rely on the luck. I think that in this case, the risk is great enough that.
Right, and for Xion's point, he doesn't care one bit because he is not going to do anything other than going to save Caitlin right now.
Agreed with Xion,
the only thing he cares about.
So it's really finding out what you two are going to do.
So then after everyone says their piece, Automil would just turn you in and he would like fish into his pocket and he would pull out a single gold coin.
But nobody's ever tried to bridge on an inanimate object that was not infused with Godstone technology.
Oh, like a magic item from before the war or something?
Right. I'd need to like dip it in some like Godstone bits or something.
You know what? Automil also talked to Nira while you guys were in Hog's Feet. And Automil smiles and he puts the gold coin back and pulls a silver coin out. And it's the same coin that she was selling where you drop it and it tells you how far something is dropped. How about this, Xion? Will this suffice?
All right, I reach out with my divinity. And use my divine eyes to look at this item and see if it will work, if it has magical powers, and if it can hold a divine spark at least.
It is forged of silver, but that silver was mined. That vein of silver ran through a godstone, and it's infused with some of that energy, which is why it could hold this magical charge for so very long. So yeah, you believe this will work just fine.
Well, it'll work. Not that it matters at all. We're going to save Caitlin. And I hand him the coin.
Agreed. Moving on.
All right. So how are you doing this?
She's gonna think back to when she was with Cyrena and the luck went really well, that she was like, in a forest, sitting, chilling. So she's like, So she's gonna walk over to like the front of the ship, ask Steelbeard, even though he's resting, if he can grow some trees so she can feel in her element. And then she's gonna like meditate in the center.
Yeah, a couple trees grow around you, like a little bump, as like a little bench kind of forms, right? And it's peaceful. And for a moment, you're able to like tune everything out, and you just focus on this coin, and you kind of flip it over in your hand a couple times. And as you flip it over and flip it back, the other side has changed now, and it's just a picture, like a side profile of Caitlin. And when you flip it back over, it's a top-down view of the Ironwood. So that's what you're looking at on both sides of the coin right now.
Well, there's the two different ways to go. And then give it a flip.
As it falls to the deck in front of you and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls and settles on a picture of Caitlin.
Well, that was fun.
It really was, actually. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to flip it.
I had no idea what was going to happen if we had to go to the trees.
Yeah.
But that kind of quiets, at least somewhat, Haldir's worries. And ultimately it makes sense, because if we lose Caitlin, we lose the war.
Right. So like I said, us humans are going back to bed. Y'all elves, keep a lookout. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, and we'll set sail. Save Caitlin.
Oh, wait, Xion! As it dawns on Dorro, and he grabs something out from underneath his clothes. It's a black candle. I bought you this.
What?
Yeah,
for
hand it
me?
to him.
Really?
And so that's a
Thank
candle
you.
that doesn't go out when you submerge it in water.
Well, that's very helpful. Thank you so much, Dorro.
How is that very helpful? What would you use that for?
It doesn't matter. I'm just being nice to you. No. I'm not saying that out loud. I'm talking to you,
Yes,
Aram.
I get it. No, I get it. That's great. This is so thoughtful.
No, actually, you know what? Even though I've been pretending that, even though I'm playing Xion as a bad liar, like my
you'd think it was cool, at least, right?
Right. But my my deception is plus +5.
Oh, right. Right.
So
You're actually a pretty good liar.
But I'm only lie whenever it's like to make somebody feel better. So like a
little white lies.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I would think, just as a scientist, you would think this was cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No. I'm definitely going to study it. And possibly use it in.
I feel like we all, when we come across magical items, it's like cool, because it's like you didn't, there's not a lot of them.
Oh yeah, and I have not forgotten a certain round banded metal sphere in my pocket, which I fully intend to use at some
You've
point.
had that forever. You know how it works, so you do how it works.
Yeah.
You guys got a couple, and you've never used your whips,
No,
Dorro,
not yet.
ever?
No, they've just been bracers.
The only people who really use their magic items is Para was so happy to have clothes that wouldn't burn, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then Torrvic used his jug a lot. That's
Yeah.
pretty
I
much
got my
it. Yeah.
entangle
Yeah, but he used it for the most ridiculous reason, right?
Right. Always
So,
to either
always to
get drunk or be gross.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
the two
Yeah.
reasons why he
Yeah.
used it. Yeah.
When we could have built jet skis, that's all we
Totally.
wanted to
So
do.
many things. Well, you know what? You're going to have a new Torvik to deal with, and I think he might be a little bit more amicable
Yay!
to sharing.
So
Yay.
I've given the candles to Xion. Zion's placated me and been like, great, whatever, and puts it in his pocket. And he's like, all right, we're going to sleep. And they turn around. As they turn around, I want to lift a godstone from him.
Oh, okay. You want to steal a godstone from Xion.
Okay, this is going to be an opposed roll.
Yep.
But yeah.
I would so you're going to roll sleight of hand, and Xion, you're going to roll perception.
You will probably beat me, so you have to beat a 7. Yeah, all you have to do is beat a 7.
31.
Oh my God.
Didn't notice.
God. He stole it from you in the past. you just sneak a perfect little godstone, ding, you can ding
So
right off.
one thing I want to do while looking.
Yeah.
And then I'm done. Then you guys can, I just want to figure out a way to put the ability to say, okay, activate crystal, and you appear at the circle on the ship. Anybody is like, the ship, and then
you can do this one gem at a time. You can't give
I'm
everyone.
not trying to equip the team. If anything, this is got Caitlin, she's hurt. Now you're on the ship. Now let's see you fucking take her.
Right. Well, it depends. What did you steal from me? Did you steal a raw godstone, or did you steal or try to steal a battery?
Yeah, I assume it would have been a raw godstone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The limitation here, just so you know, Doug, in game terms, is that it might only work once or twice, because raw godstones
it might shatter.
They shatter.
But this is like this seems like a bail, like a bailout thing you're planning.
Like a
ripcord. It takes you a while to figure it out. The symbol that Steelbeard had created on the deck to match what you were asking for, right? When you walk up to it and touch the godstone to it and trace that, it creates like a little magical sparkle behind it. And if you trace the entire symbol while focusing on it and putting your divinity into it, you're able to link that stone with your divinity to this teleportation circle, basically. And yeah, that works. You also get the feeling that with a little bit more power, you might be able to make this permanent.
The circle or the stone?
The connection of the stone to this circle. Mm-hmm. Yep. So the circle is permanent. It's being maintained by Steelbeard.
Right. Okay. So anyone that sees me on the deck sees it's like a little kid with the sidewalk chalk bent over.
That's exactly what it looks like.
What is he doing? Who cares? It's probably graffiti.
Of course, this whole thing is a bit mood anyway. I mean, it is a cute idea. I like it, but that I've already given you a battery, right? So you could just.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, he did. Everyone got one. Everyone, but with this particular thing, you needed the stone. You need the direct contact with the stone to trace an outline. The battery really wouldn't have worked here because you had to merge it with this. You could figure it out, but for you, Xion could have done it. But for you, this is the best path.
Oh yeah, but for me, it's like a simpler, blunter method to doing this.
Hedge magic, yes.
If you gave this stone to someone, right, they could use it to get back to the ship. If you hold it, you could teleport everyone back without seeing the ship.
So they would have to be able to see the ship to use it without me? Or?
It would just take one of them.
Okay.
So any of them could pop back to the ship with this. It'll bring them only here directly back.
But they can't do a group without me.
Correct.
To be able to see the ship. Okay.
This now forms an anchor for you to get everyone back to the ship. And as long as it's within your range, you don't see why it would be a problem whatsoever. Thank you for joining us for Season 6, Episode 6 of Godsfall. Can't wait for more? Check out patreon.com/Godsfall, where you can listen to the next episode right now and early releases of all future episodes for just $5 a month. We're also live twice a month on twitch.tv/Godsfall with Escape the Union, where 5 young demigods try and survive the newly constructed Tower of the God of Order. Check video-on-demand episodes on youtube.com/Godsfall. And we'll see you next time in the world of the 5 Kingdoms.